What are you doing?
I'm making chocolate, of course. How do you like it?
I don't know. I've never had any.
You've never had chocolate?
Still no.
Well, lucky for you, Noodle. I have a selection of the world's finest ingredients right here in my travel factory.
Whoa.
Where to begin? That's the question. I know. Silver linings, made of condensed thunderclouds and liquid sunlight.
Did you always want to make chocolate?
No. Back when I was your age, I wanted to be a magician.
Getting a head start on the holiday competition is Paul King's Wonka, a prequel or origin story for the famous magical chocolatier Willy Wonka, previously essayed on screen by an unforgettable Gene Wilder and a totally forgettable Johnny Depp. From a distance, the existence of Wonka sounds like the kind of naked, franchise-loving, IP-exploiting cash grab that studio bean counters just love. It's thanks then to writer-director King and screenplay collaborator Simon Farnaby that Wonka transcends whatever limited expectations the suits might have had and is genuinely good-hearted, wholesome holiday entertainment. King, as we know from two outstanding and beloved Paddington films, knows how to delight an audience, which should also please the accounting department of Village Roadshow, Heyday and Warner Brothers. Timothée Chalamet is the young Willy, an orphan with all the narrative baggage that brings, fresh from 7 years travelling the world on a rusty steamship, determined to make his fortune as a chocolatier. Arriving in an unnamed European city, it looks like a mix of Paris, Vienna, Edinburgh, Oxford and Lyme Regis, he soon discovers that breaking into the biz is not just a matter of talent. Capitalist cartel behaviour means that the Gallery Gourmet is a closed shop to the likes of him. It turns out that a spoonful of sugar doesn't just help the medicine go down, it greatly assists with your digestion of classical Marxist dialectic too.
We've got just the thing for you, the entrepreneurial package. Now the room is one sovereign a night, but you don't have to pay till 6 tomorrow. Does that give you enough time to earn a few pennies?
More than enough, Mrs. Scrubbit. Thank you.
Oh, it's the least I can do for a stranger in need. Now, sign here and we're all done.
Alrighty.
Read the small print.
What?
Thank you, Noodle, that'll do.
Oh, what'd you say?
Who's that in?
The girl.
What girl?
That girl. It sounded like read the small print, and there does seem to be a lot of it. Oh. 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 Just keeps on coming.
Yeah, you don't want to listen to Noodle, Mr. Wonka. She's damaged. She was dropped down the laundry chute as a bab, and I took her in out the goodness of my heart, and I've done my best, Mr. Wonka, honest I have, but she's been left with a suspicious nature. She sees conspiracy everywhere.
Poor girl.
I know. These are just your standard T's and C's, but you're welcome to take a look if you want.
Wonka foolishly signs a contract in exchange for a night's lodging that bonds him to the town laundry, run by a Dickensian Olivia Colman, for 30 years. Only his candy innovations, his newfound friends in the laundry, and an irritable little orange man, played with vim by Hugh Grant, can save him. I liked that the filmmakers opted to use Dahl's cartel from the original Chocolate Factory book, Slugworth, Prodnose, Fickelgruber. They're therefore not permanently vanquished, but end up with their fortunes greatly diminished and their reputations in tatters. Like everyone in the film, Patterson Joseph, Matt Lucas and Matthew Bainton respectively do sterling service, but from a performance point of view, I want to single out screenwriter Simon Farnaby, who, once again in a King film, has a delightful cameo as a security guard. That's one for the Paddington fans there, I think. The craft is first-rate. Production designed by Nathan Crowley, costumes by Lindy Hemming. It's so nice when the British film industry shows off the amazing depth of its talent on something with a decent budget.
It's not just chocolate, is it? There's marshmallow.
That's right. Harvested from the mallow marshes of Peru.
And caramel.
But it's salted. With the bittersweet tears of a Russian clown.
Is it? Surely not.
Cherry.
Cherry picked by the pick of the cherry pickers from the Imperial Gardens in Japan.
Well, Mr. Wonka, I've been in this business a very long time, and I can safely say that of all the chocolate I have ever tasted, this is without doubt the absolute 100% worst.
Woo! There we have it, ladies and gentlemen, an endorsement from Mr. Wait, the worst?
We three are the fiercest of rivals, and yet we agree on one thing. A good chocolate should be simple, plain, uncomplicated.
Whereas this, with all its bells and whistles, well, it's just
Weird.
You're gonna hate what happens next.
I remain largely immune to the charms of Monsieur Chalamet, but off the top of my head I can't think of anyone better for this version of the character. He's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, chasing his dream rather than looking to hand it over. The new songs from the Divine Comedy's Neil Hannon are excellent, even if they don't yet send a shiver down your spine like Bricus and Newley's Pure Imagination from the 1971 Wilder version, which haunts this film until it gets a perfect run-out near the end. Yes, Wonka is a musical, and it's not one of those newfangled hip-hop or jukebox musicals either. This one has the West End and Broadway and your local musical theatre society in its DNA. Oliver, Annie, Sweeney Todd, and possibly even Schmigadoon are all touchstones. It also manages to retain its necessary naughty Dahlishness, which could easily have been watered down. There's a running fat joke that Dahl would relish, even if we're not supposed to laugh at those now. My only real qualm with the film is that Wonka fails to bridge the character gap between this open-hearted Willie who believes in his mother's message that who you share it with is more important than the chocolate itself, to the reclusive, cynical, mischievous misanthrope played by Wilder. That might mean we're in for a sequel, but I suspect that story is a much darker one than audiences are ready for.
I will have you know that I am a perfectly respectable size for an Oompa Loompa.
an Oompa what now?
In fact, in Loompa I am regarded as something of a whopper. They call me Lofty. So I will thank you to stop gawping at me as though I was something unpleasant you'd found in your handkerchief. I find it uncomfortable and, frankly, rude.
Sorry.
Now let me out of here. You have absolutely no right to go around embottling innocent strangers.
Innocent? Hold on, you've been stealing from me for years.
Well, you started it.
Me?
You stole our cocoa beans.
What are you talking about?
Wonka is rated PG and is the early Christmas frontrunner in multiplexes all over Aotearoa now.